our first morning show of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you all had a great new year. Hopefully everything went well for you. So I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley, Burleyman Gaming. Burley, Happy New Year again.
Yes, Happy New Year, Expat.
Yep, and we got the morning show back now. So what's new for you, Burley? What did you do after we recorded last Saturday? What did you do?
I had a family party, so Christmas party that had gotten canceled. So that was a fun and interesting time, and I had to deal with a few family members that had a little too much holiday juice.
Had to deal with them, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, no, like what I literally had to because she couldn't walk up the stairs.
I like how you said that, Burley. Holiday juice. They got the juice in them.
Yes.
All right.
I thought you'd find that funny.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good, man. I thought that was pretty good. I'm also very happy. My football team, San Francisco 49ers, they're in the playoffs. They have the number 2 seed in their conference. Yeah. Number 1 seed is the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think the Niners can beat the Eagles. We'll see. Their first game is next Saturday. They play the Seattle Seahawks, team from their division. So this is like their third time playing each other this year. San Francisco won both times this year. So we'll see. Probably they should handle business. Yeah, so
you never know. It's not a matter of always who's the better team. It's who wants it more.
Yeah, of course. The 49ers want it more. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So we got a great morning show for you. We're going to be talking about game sales in the UK. You'll probably be a little bit surprised at the numbers of either digital or physical copies sold during the year 2022. We're going to talk about that. Naughty Dog basically explains why it's taking more time over game reveals. So, of course, in the past, Naughty Dog has revealed a game, and then like 5 years, 6 years later, the game finally comes out. Well, they don't want to do that anymore. We're going to talk about that. And then, Burley, we're going to talk about Disgaea. Do you know the game Disgaea?
Yes, I've heard of Disgaea.
Yes, we're going to talk about Disgaea because here in Japan, Disgaea 7 is coming very soon. So, yeah, you're going to have to check out the new trailer we're going to be showing everybody, the new character trailer for one of the characters. And then in the next up and coming weeks, they're going to be showing more character reveals for Disgaea 7. So we're going to show that later on. But we will be back with our first story about games sold in the UK right after this. All right. So, almost 90% of games sold in the UK in 2022 were digital, Burley.
Wow.
90%.
Not surprising.
Yeah. So this is from the BBC, bbc.com. So I will go ahead and put the link below for you all so you can go and check it out. And I'll read a little bit of it for you here. So, digital sales accounted for almost 9 out of every 10 video games sold in the UK in 2022, according to a trade body. The Digital Entertainment and Retail Association, ERA, said 89.5% of games sold had been digital downloads and the remaining 10.5% actual physical copies. About 30% of the sales came from mobile apps, which are sold digitally. In total, the gaming industry accounted for 4.7 billion euro, or I'm sorry, pounds. Yeah, 4.7 billion pounds of sales in the UK in 2022, higher than that of the film, television, or music industries. The numbers mean gamers were much more likely to download games through their console or PC rather than waiting for a delivery or going to a shop. ERA Chief Executive Kim Bailey said gaming was the, quote, often unheralded leader, end quote, of the entertainment market. Quote, while growth at 2.3% was lower than that of video or music, its scale is enormous. And in terms of innovation and excitement, It continues to set the pace for the entire entertainment sector, end quote. So, Burley, what are your thoughts on this 90%? I don't think it's the same in the United States, but I think the trend of more and more sales going digital is going to continue. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. First of all, we got someone in the chat, Dark Fairy. Morning, and yay,
hey,
you guys
Fairy.
are back. We're back.
Yay.
Yes, we're back. Thank you for coming back. Yeah, digital makes sense to me that the sales number are going to be higher. I do a lot of digital gaming, buying games digitally. Because you know what I hate? Getting the disc, spending that time installing it, and downloading the 20 gig or 10 gig or whatever size day one patch. You know what I mean? I hate that. I may have fast internet, but it's like I'd rather just do one quick download, buy it digitally, and I can have it all preloaded before the game comes out.
Right. So, Dark Fairy, let us know, when you purchase video games, do you purchase them digitally or physically? Let us know.
So, but it's cool that the UK gets these numbers and will release them.
Yeah.
US, Canada, I don't think they'll ever go digital. How much the digital percent was compared to the physical, and give you how much revenue in the whole country it generated. And Dark Fairy saying both. Also depends on the price. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I sometimes have bought a game physically because it's way cheaper to buy it physically than it is digitally. Yeah. We all have done that.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, I still buy the little mini cartridges for the Switch. I'll buy the little cartridges. So I guess in that sense it's physical. But then for PlayStation and Xbox, everything's digital now. I don't buy any physical copies of games. But you, Burley, you are the when it comes to the those special promotions and the steelbooks. Yes, the steelbooks. Yes.
No, I've never done. Who am I kidding? I can't get away with. I just bought another. I bought a collector's edition.
Yes, yesterday. You have a problem, Burley. You definitely have a problem. Yes.
Oh, I
purchasing steel books. Yeah.
Steel books and stuff like that. I do have a problem on that. I will. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I need.
Yeah, help. That's a question I was talking with my Japanese students today. I'm like, there's things in life that we purchase that we don't need. We want them, but we don't need them. So what are the things that you purchase that you don't need? And of course, for Burley's answer is the steel books.
It's steel books and a few other things.
Yeah. So yeah, this is cool. Yeah, like you were saying, Burley. The UK coming out with these numbers and everything. I would be really happy to see the other countries like the United States and Japan and everywhere else coming out.
I bet you it's quite high in digital for Japan.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, because there's a lot of gamers are on mobile here in Japan, so obviously it's going to be digital. So, they're buying from the for example, Google Play or the Apple Store or whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know for you have the digital PS5, so you get all that stuff digitally.
Right. Yeah, that's right. All right, so next up, we're going to talk Naughty Dog. Obviously, we have, of course, our series where we're going to be recapping each episode of The Last of Us from HBO Max. We're going to be doing that every week. Of course, it starts on November, or not November. I'm sorry, January. I'm still in November, Burley. My mind is in November.
Yeah, it's that weird part. Hey, it's early into January.
I know, man.
If you get things messed up, no one's going to blame you. We all do it.
Right, we do it all the time. Yeah, it's still 2022 in a lot of people's minds sometimes when they're talking. Yeah. But anyway, January 15th is the start of the HBO Max series, The Last of Us. And of course, we'll be doing weekly recap episodes of that. But we're going to talk Naughty Dog and some things that Neil Druckmann said about, talking about game reveals So we're going to talk about that right after Burley flies the drone for the first time in 2023. Burley, get the drone ready.
Yep, it's primed and
Dark
ready.
Fairy, let's get some hype for the drone. Drone. We'll be back right after this.
There you go. You asked for hype for the drone, and you got it there in the chat.
Nice. Thank you so much, Dark Fairy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dark Fairy.
Naughty Dog explains why it's taking more time over game reveals. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys the link to that here. So from over at GamesRadar.com, and it's partially covering Burley's face. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's a long link. So anyway, I'll go ahead and uncover his face there, and I'll go ahead and read a little bit of this for you. So Naughty Dog has explained why it's taking its time unveiling its next major game. Naughty Dog is a studio that typically likes to keep fans well informed about the virtual delights it's cooking up, often announcing games many years before they're due for release. For example, Uncharted 4, Nathan Drake's latest adventure, was announced back in 2013 and launched in 2016. The wait for The Last of Us 2 was even lengthier. First unveiled in 2016, it came like in 2020, right, Burley? I think it was 2020, yeah. Yeah. So in an interview with Comic Book, Naughty Dog co-president Neil Druckmann discussed the studio's experience with announcing games way ahead of time and why it's not something he's keen on doing in the future. Quote, "We did announce Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us Part 2 way in advance, but that actually caused a little bit of the work-life balance issues that we've sometimes had at the studio," end quote. Quote, "By delaying that announcement, we could play with the schedule more, and we're more conscious now about how we're approaching production," end quote. So it goes on. It says Druckmann also mentions the upcoming The Last of Us multiplayer project, which the team had been silently working on, quote, "since even before The Last of Us 2 shipped," end quote, describing it as, quote, "the most ambitious project we've ever done. It's expanding the world even further, continuing to tell a story, but in a multiplayer space," end quote. To round things off, the Naughty Dog executive briefly touches on the studio's as yet unannounced game, keen to not give even the most minute of hints away. Druckmann says, quote, "There's another project that I will not say anything about that's beyond that we were also very much excited for," end quote. But by the sounds of things, we're probably not going to be getting any solid details until much closer to its release, like a lot of other games for the future from Naughty Dog. So, Burley, your thoughts on this? I think a lot of game studios should probably take the same philosophy. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. Like, how many times have we said it on this show? Things get shown off way too freaking early, and then they show it off. It's nowhere near release, and then you're waiting forever, and then they feel like, okay, we put the one trailer out. Shit, we got to put the next trailer out and get that out. It's like, yeah, if you're putting way too much pressure on yourself that you don't need to do.
Right, and that work-life balance when it comes to the people that are working, within the studios. Yeah, I mean, I remember when No Man's Sky was first announced, and it took forever to release. But even when it did release, it was still not in its finalized state.
Oh yeah.
So I think this is a good thing to just keep it secret. I think 1 year before release, I think is a good amount of time to announce a game. 1 year.
1 year, and also to go on another little tangent with this, if you announce the trailer and you're then telling us, let's say spring of 2024, right? And it starts to get closer to spring 24, and you don't think you can meet it, there's no shame in saying, hey, we have to push back for X amount to get this right.
Yeah.
Because take as much time as you need, because we don't need more games coming rushed and being like, well, you need to wait 4 or 5 months after the game comes to get the patches to get these features that you're like, wait, that wasn't in the game?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I kind of compare this, kind of a weird comparison, but you know, one of the great, when it comes to politics, one of the great speakers of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, from my home city of San Francisco. When she was the Speaker of the House, of course now, there's a new speaker, but when she was Speaker of the House, she would never bring a bill to the floor unless she knew she had the votes for it to pass. So I think of this in the same way for video games and development companies. If you know for sure that this game will be ready within a year, then announce it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come out and announce something, even if it's only a year. Don't announce it, but you're unsure if it will be ready by that time. Make sure that, okay, 1 year from now, this game, you're not gonna need any patches whatsoever. I mean, this game is clean. This game is ready to go. Okay, announce it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Like, look at some of the games we got. Metroid 4 Prime 4 announced how long ago?
Yeah,
and it's still, we know,
where is it?
Nothing of.
Where is it?
Well, we know they've announced they had to restart development and stuff and all this stuff. So it's like it's been bad. So that's just one of those examples I wanted to pull out of just, hey, announcing everything early is not always the best choice.
Yeah. So I'll throw a question to you out in the chat. Obviously, Naughty Dog, most likely their next big game, it's probably going to be The Last of Us Part 3. Do you want The Last of Us Part 3 to be announced now? Let us know in the chat. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about that. Yeah. All right. So, Burley, I think it's a moot point. We're going to get The Last of Us Part 3 at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be anytime soon, but I mean, we're going to get it. And
Dark Fairy says a Part 3 and no.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a Part 3 because Part 2 did so well. They're not stupid. They know people. I want them to make sure it's fully ready. I agree.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the show, basically it seems like what they're aiming at right now, season 1 will be The Last of Us Part 1. Season 2 will be The Last of Us Part 2. Mm-hmm. And then if they come out with Part 3, then they could make a season 3.
Well, apparently Naughty Dog has said, in the showrunners and stuff, they are not going to go past what the games are.
Right. So
which is nice that they're not just going to go, 8 seasons, draw this out, and it's so bad.
Right. But if they come out with a third game, then that gives them time to make a third season and make a lot more money off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we shall see. Of course, that's just speculation. We have no idea about that. As to another story that I decided not to throw into this, obviously Microsoft and the potential presentation that might be coming at the end of the month. We still do not have confirmation of that yet. Microsoft has not, announced that yet. There's speculation by Windows Central and all, but Microsoft themselves have not, confirmed that. So I decided not to throw that into the.
No, fair enough. I was just, when I was finding stories for the day.
Yeah.
These, because we're in January, so there's not going to be as much to pick from and stuff.
As soon as before you say what Dark Fairy said, Burley, if Microsoft confirms it, we will talk about it on the show. Go ahead, man.
I don't want that, Dark Fairy. I don't want them to tell us it'll come out, for example, in October, this game, but doesn't come out until next year in February. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, just, tell us the month, and then that month it comes out, All right. Okay. So next up, we're going to talk some Japanese gaming. Because there's a game, it's pretty big, but it's coming out in Japan first. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. I'll hopefully get my hands on it here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Disgaea 7. It's coming on January 26th here in Japan. Out in the West, it does not have a release date yet. Hopefully sometime this year. But we're going to show you one of the characters because one of the new character trailers dropped. And so I'm going to show that to you right after this. So stay tuned. All right, so here we go, and I will read from the caption here, but just let me go ahead and start it. Okay. So, Disgaea 7, the Fuji trailer. So, Nippon Ichi Software has released the first video in a series of Disgaea 7 character trailers. The first introduces Fuji, voiced by Ishikawa Kaito. Here's a description of Fuji. A triple threat of demon, cheap and lazy, he is a demon with a devilish personality rarely seen in Hinomoto, which is rooted in the way of Bushido. He was taught how to fight on the battlefield at a young age, and with the motto, quote, "If you win, you're a hero. If you lose, you're a servant," end quote. He will do anything to win, whether that means a surprise attack or foul play. He has a self-diagnosed allergy to human-like expressions and has to cough up blood whenever he feels human emotions like love, friendship, and sympathy. So yeah, so that's Fuji. Yeah. So there's going to be other upcoming character trailer releases. January 11th, Piririka. On January 11th, January 13th, Ueyasu, January 16th, C4, January 18th, Suisen, January 20th, Ao, and January 23rd, Higang Zeshosai. So Disgaea 7 is due out for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Switch on January 26th here in Japan. Sorry, Xbox, it's not coming to you yet. So anyway, what do you think, Burley? 6980 yen. So that's about $70.
Yeah.
US dollars. What do you think? What do you think of the trailer? Yeah.
Like, I like the art style. I have not played any of these Disgaea games. I know there's quite a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
So I will wait and see how this one comes out before I try one out.
Wow, you've never played any of the Disgaea games? I mean, they go back all the way. I mean, these, tactical role-playing RPGs, they go back to the PlayStation 2 era, Burley. Was it Disgaea Hour of Darkness came out on PlayStation 2 in 2003. Yeah.
That's the thing. There's so many RPGs. I haven't gotten to a lot of franchises because it was like, I stick with what I know. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because like when you're a kid and you save up money to buy a game, it's like, do I go for the thing I'm not sure, or do I go for the series that has made me happy and I've played a lot of?
Uh-huh.
And that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Go for the series I knew.
Yeah, Disgaea, it's really popular out here. So I hope you guys get a chance out there in the West. Probably sometime this year it's going to release in the West as well.
Oh, I'm sure it'll release probably
on Switch, Switch and PlayStation as well.
I'm actually just going to quickly see if it's got a North American...
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a North America release date as of yet. So, but anyway.
But yeah.
So.
Oh, people are speculating because this is like 5, where 5 had a release in Japan in March, but came in October.
Yeah.
So it could come later this year.
For all of you Japanese viewers out there that might be watching live or on video on demand later on, the Switch, the PlayStation versions, 6,980 yen. So after tax, 7,678 yen desu. So yeah, so 6,980 yen, but after tax, 7,678 yen.
So yeah, if it's up at that price to over here in Canada, that's over $100 with tax.
Yeah.
So. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna pick that up day one. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I try to avoid the games that are the higher price. I try to avoid buying them day one unless it is like those things where you know you are gonna get your money's worth. You're gonna really enjoy it, kind of thing.
Yeah. But I recommend the games. They're fun to play. And probably out here in Japan, a lot of people are gonna play it on the Switch, most likely. So, but whether you play it on the Switch or the PlayStation, it's fun stuff. They are cool games, that's for sure.
Yes, they are.
Yep. So in this episode of the Arena Gaming News Morning Show, we talked obviously about 90% of the game sales in the UK in 2022 were digital. 90%. We talked about Naughty Dog and the fact that they don't want to announce games too early. And then, of course, Disgaea 7 coming on the 26th here in Japan and sometime later this year in North America. So hope you guys get a chance to get it. So I'll be getting it first. I'll be getting it first. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, well, that means you have to tell us everything about the game.
Maybe.
You know everything. You gotta translate it to English so that way we have the perfect guides ready for when it comes to English.
Yeah, how much you gonna pay me? Yeah. How much for the translation cost? Yeah. All right. So I think that's gonna do it for this episode of the morning show. But before we leave, since this is our first episode of the morning show of 2023, all of you in the chat, let us know, what are your gaming resolutions for this year? I'm interested to know. I'm sure Burley is also interested to know, what are your gaming resolutions for this year? And if you want to hear what our gaming resolutions for 2023 are, yes, we talked about them a little bit on the latest episode of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News podcast. So you can go and check that out. So one of my resolutions, though, I'll go ahead and mention, was to play more of the Switch this year, because I had neglected the Switch in 2022 a lot. Not only just the content creation, time that was taken out to do all of this stuff, but I mostly played on PlayStation and Xbox in 2022. So I want to play more Switch games in 2023. So, what about you, Burley? Yeah.
For me is being better about buying games. Don't buy them unless I know I'm going to play it right away, kind of thing.
Yeah. So. Cool. Yeah.
So. And Dark Fairy, I wish I would have went to GameStop on Sunday. They had some good games. That's too bad.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burlerman Gaming. We hope to catch you in the next episode of The Morning Show, which will be tomorrow. So Wednesday, January 11th. So 111, Burley. 111. Yeah. So maybe we'll get some. Maybe we'll get that Microsoft announcement for their showcase or whatever.
Yeah.
Dark Fairy, you don't have a Switch.
No, she does not.
Oh, you don't have a Switch. Okay, I see. Well, maybe this will be the year, Dark Fairy, you get a Switch.
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe someone special will get you a Switch. Yeah. For either your birthday or for the holidays. Yeah.
Yep.
So. All right, so that's going to do it for us. So we hope to catch you in the next episode tomorrow. So take care, everyone. Peace.
Take care, everyone.
Out.